H, my brothers.
Tables, ladders, and chairs.
Don't spoil it.
And H.
And H. Was it the triple variety?
Oh, dude, we can't spoil it.
Was it the triple?
We didn't do our pre-show predictions, so we got them all right though.
We did.
Yeah,
I tweeted them, and you all should have saw that we got every single one right.
You didn't miss it, did you?
Nope. Let's see. I don't know. We'll figure it out. First match of the night was the Punker, CM Punk, in the first handicap match of the night, taking on the Shield. I don't know what Shield is. Whatever. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot.
Whoa. Hold on, I'll be the third face. Yeah. Believe in the Shield. Welcome to Consequence.
What's up?
Alrighty.
So yeah, welcome to Consequences, CM Punk.
Click and subscribe.
Thanks.
Thanks.
So yeah, we got CM Punk versus Shield, and this one, I was feeling it before it started, because I'm like, okay, Dean Ambrose versus CM Punk would be cool. Seth Rollins versus CM Punk would be cool. Roman Reigns versus CM Punk would be cool. So I'm like, okay, there's a lot of options here. We got a little bit of each of them. Not enough Punk Rollins. I feel like that was the one I feel like that didn't get like they. It was more like him interfering and then hitting him more than like in the ring at the same time as the legal guys.
I can agree with that.
But
I think there's a huge potential for Punk Ambrose though.
Yeah, it'd be
they had a lot more cohesion.
Right.
The other two.
It would be a great time.
Yeah.
If that ever goes, I'm sure it will at some point.
It has to.
Yeah, it'll go into a.
Especially after what happens in this match.
Yeah. Because they're going at it, and how it starts breaking down. Because you had to have that point in the match where CM Punk gets, even if he wasn't going to win, it had to get, like we saw later in the Daniel Bryan match, to the point where he had to do something to the other guys to get it to where it was like, okay, feasible, that, okay, this is his time.
Yeah.
And that happens with, how did it start? Was Reigns the first thing, or did that happen after?
I think he threw Reigns out.
Yeah, well, Reigns was going for the spear, and Reigns flies ape shit into the thing. And then Seth Rollins is checking on him, and then he ends up hitting Seth Rollins somehow. I don't remember. Yeah. But at that point, then he's hitting elbows on Ambrose. He got it isolated like that for a while, and it got to the point where you feel like, okay, the other two are eliminated. This is where he wins, and he didn't, which was good. You know, keep it a little less predictable than it was. And then they go at it for a while. Oh, and Roman Reigns had his eye. I don't remember what he did, but he
bashed his eye on the spear.
Right.
He caught something.
He had his eye messed up through the whole thing. So then when it came back later, it's Punk Ambrose was in the ring. They were the legal guys.
Yeah.
And Reigns finally gets back. And he says, boom, 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 spear! But it wasn't to CM Punk.
No.
It was to Dizzy Dean Ambrose. And I wasn't paying attention. I was like, oh, he turned! And he's like, no, he did it on accident. I was like, shit.
You looked out at the wrong time. Also, you saw a spear. It's like, whoa, he turned on.
I know. I'm like, oh, no, you just couldn't see. Yeah. So then, of course, that's the kicker. CM Punk gets the W.
Oh.
At least the first W.
First W. You have to look long term on this one. How long is the Shield going to stay together? I feel like they're trying to.
It's getting there.
They're giving them losses, and that's going to build the tension between them. Or at least you think if this were to be a movie, that would be what would drive them apart.
Yeah, exactly.
But because it's wrestling, they're going to lose. You never know. They're going to lose and then walk out and do the same thing the next night.
Yeah, you never know. Especially you have no idea. Who knows? Second match tonight, we got AJ Lee taking on Natalya. Tamina Snuka was out there, even though she wasn't doing anything. This is, with literally the roster now, this is about as good of a wrestling match with divas as you can probably get.
Yeah, I'm with it.
I can't think of any other two. Natalya's definitely one, and I guess AJ's probably the other. Unless I'm skipping someone.
No,
unless JoJo's got those bangers she's keeping hold.
Are we talking the entire everyone employed by him?
No, people that could have physically been in this match right now. Yeah.
And people that have actually been on the Raw program.
Yeah, exactly. Because this is probably it, and it was good. Yeah. It had it was the thing where it's like, okay, is AJ gonna get in trouble and lose now, even though it would make no sense, and I don't want Natalya to win, or are they gonna save it for a later date? Save it for a later date if she's even gonna get in trouble. So we don't know. But she ends up getting the win.
They'll probably bury her on TV.
It's possible. It wouldn't surprise me if she came out and got destroyed in this match. I was almost expecting it, just the way WWE handles things.
I think they'd be more apt to do it the day after on.
Yeah, that's true. To Nikki Bella.
Yeah. Oh,
Hey.
No, she'd probably catch whatever Eva Marie's finisher is.
Oh,
DVD
God.
from Eva Marie.
What is her finisher? How do I look that up? Someone Google it.
She's ever done it. She's never actually done a move.
She's never won. She's never been in a match, has she? Oh, I guess she's been in tag matches.
She has some roll-ups.
Oh, good. Yes. Mrs. Small Package.
Oh, no. She doesn't do small packages. AJ did a small package to win this one, though.
Yeah.
So AJ pulled out the W when Natalya kept going for the sharpshooter.
And she had it in for a while.
Yeah.
I honestly thought AJ was going to tap because it went to the part where it was so long, but then she got it the rope. But then she dragged her clear back to the middle. Then she reversed it, and then she went for it again. Boom! Misses the small package. AJ Lee 1, 2, 3 gets the win. Natalya's crying, which makes sense, as you said. If I got rolled up after a whole match, I'd be sad too.
I wouldn't be sad. I'd be pissed.
I'd be like, hey!
I'd be like, yeah, you think you're tight? No,
yeah.
I wouldn't be like
setting up the Raw match tomorrow with Natalya whooping that ass. Maybe.
Yeah.
So AJ Lee retains. Then we got Biggie Langston versus Damien Sandow for the IC title. Damien Sandow come out, cut a promo before. It was like, I'm better. It's like, okay.
It's like, you guys say y'all. Hate me.
And Houston's like, okay.
Houston's like, actually, we don't in this part of Houston. That's more North Texas.
Yeah, we're just chilling down here.
We just have a whole lot of money down here in Houston.
Yeah, we're just kicking it, guys. Damien Sandow, you are incorrect. And then Biggie likes to come out and say, honey, 5. Not full, not tree, not dose, not uno, but 5.
3 ain't enough.
3 ain't enough, I need 5. This match was about what you'd expect if you said Biggie Langston was going to fight Damien Sandow.
You can tell by our enthusiasm when I was talking about it how good it was. We're not holding back. We're not trying to hype this up. It was a Biggie Langston versus Damien Sandow.
It is what it sounds like.
With no build.
Yeah,
there's no emotional connection.
If you didn't see this match, what you think it is in your head is what it was. Mm-hmm. You knew Biggie Langston was going to win, and he did. I don't remember how he won.
Big ending,
which makes sense.
You got to build his finisher.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's like but again, it's back to the point. I feel like we say this every time we shit on a match. It's like, who else? Yeah. Who else is he gonna fight? There's not a lot of mid-card heels floating around.
Exactly.
So
you made a good point during this next match, though, about a way you could do something like that. Let's just hop right into this match.
Yeah, because
no
need to harp on it. It'll connect.
We'll tie it back. Trust us.
So we got the Fatal 4-Way tag. We got the Rhodes Brothers. We got Ryback. We got the Big Show and Rey Mysterio. And we got the Real Americans, Jack Swagger and Antonio Cesaro. Going into this, I honestly thought that the Rhodes would win, but I thought the final two would be them and the Real Americans because I didn't believe that WWE would go where I wanted them to go, which we'll get to. First guys eliminated were Ryback and Curtis Axel because
it's Ryback and Curtis Axel.
Exactly. But then the next elimination was the Real Americans, which left Cody Rhodes, Goldust, Big Show, Rey Mysterio. What is different about this than normal things?
Everyone in this ring is considered a face.
Face on face. All of a sudden, because people were into the match, but it was more just like, yeah, Goldust, Cody.
They were waiting to get to the next step.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything is formulaic.
Yeah, no one's ready to go super ham when there's still 3 teams left because next pinfall, it's like, okay, well then we still have a whole nother match. It's like,
yeah, and then when Big Show knocked out Antonio Cesaro and Jack Swagger and pinned them, it was like, oh snap!
All of a sudden, it's like, okay.
Yeah, and then they let enough time for it to build too, with him waiting to.
And he helps roll us up. Yeah. Backs out. So then it got to the point where it's like, face on face. It got to the point where it's like, okay, you don't know what's gonna happen. Like, okay,
they built Big Show to be basically as high of a mid card guy as you can be.
Yeah.
He was a main event guy, but really they're just mid card.
Yeah, and it built the whole thing because when he was in his whole main event push, his big thing was, he was being forced to knock out these guys that didn't do anything, and they were good guys, and all of a sudden he's against 2 other good guys. You can tell he's like helping them up, and it's more like, okay, guys, let's do this. Yeah. And it's like, as a crowd, you're like, okay, is this gonna be? Are they gonna be like reluctant, or are they actually gonna go after? And at first they were kind of reluctant, they kind of were just like doing, but then it started building more, and then I liked the story where it's like at first then as they get going, they're like, oh, okay, these are for the tag team titles. Then they're going ruthless. Cody Rhodes hitting knees on Big Show outside the ring. Yeah. Big Show's hucking Ray around, and it gets to the point where it doesn't always have to be good guy versus bad guy because that's what the people want. Sometimes it can be. In this case, these are the 4 biggest stars in the match as of right now. Yeah. Right back, you know what I'm saying? So it gets that point, and then it's like, okay, doesn't have to be a good guy. Pick a side. Then it's like, okay, you like this guy, so I like these guys. You know?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, instead of just being along for the ride, it's like
it feels different.
Yeah, it's like
in a freaking.
You're not on a roller coaster anymore.
In a time and age where everything feels so repetitive, like you were saying, off the rope, everything's like this. It feels like something different.
You can call a match from your couch and get it almost spot for spot.
We did later. We'll tell. That was the best one.
Yeah, but I mean, think about it. How many times you see the start? You get the front collar tie, and then
boom.
Yeah. And then you go from the advantage. Sometimes it goes into a hammerlock, which goes back into a headlock, because no one can go from anything but a headlock into the swing to the ropes, into an Irish whip. Nobody. You go here, and all of a sudden you're pushed off. Whoa. And then if it's anyone with Big Show, they go under, over, and then the third thing.
Exactly.
But because Big Show's not going under, over, hit the shoulder block. Yeah. So they did that. Once they did that, it was like, okay, they got that out of the way. Let's see what they'll do.
Yeah.
There. But the ending was pretty ingenuitive.
Yeah.
I mean, it went back and forth with like, is Cody gonna hit it on Ray?
Yeah, exactly.
Because Cody and Ray have a long history.
Yeah, and they have some of the best chemistry.
This is what they don't understand when they always come back to. We can't go to 2 matches. They do Kofi Kingston versus The Miz. We'll talk about that in 2 segments.
Right.
We're not gonna get ahead of ourselves here. But when they keep going back to the same thing over and over again, you're just like, this sucks. Yeah. But when they rehash and they're just like. And they don't bring it up as like a rehash, but when you can see it, it's kind of like a, I remember this beforehand, but it's tiny bit
WrestleMania 27, and then Extreme,
Mask Cody.
Oh, good times.
Great time.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes ends up hitting Crossroads on Rey Mysterio, gets the win. The ending was, once they started, like the little end exchange was pretty good.
I feel like the tag matches with the Rhodes people
they're always good.
They always end like
crazy, gotcha.
Yeah.
So yeah, they retain their titles. Not an overly surprised thing, but I did like this match, especially since they gave you the 2 face teams at the end, where it's a little, because really, even though Big Show, like at the beginning of the match, Big Show and Rey Mysterio are clearly the 2 biggest stars next to the actual champions, like the biggest things, but you automatically think, okay, but they're gonna eliminate someone face against face. That's like blasphemous.
Yeah, you don't do that at a small people.
Yeah, you don't do that.
Yeah.
So it's like you automatically get rid of it, and it's like, oh, okay. But they went there, and I thought it was pretty cool.
And it's not like we were the only people that popped for it. The crowd popped.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not like a smart thing.
We're not just making this up.
We're not just guys on the internet who are just like, yeah, I like when they do things that we don't expect because, No,
this is like the anti-internet. Wait a minute, it should have been the heels against the heels. It should have been Antonio Cesaro against Curtis Axel.
Why didn't they push Antonio Cesaro?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not his time right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you guys really want to be the tag champ right now? No.
Seriously, come on, guys.
Let him get a strong run in the Rumble, and we'll see if that does anything.
Yeah, exactly. This next match, though, not as excited about, mostly because why? Why is it our? I mean, I guess it. It makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. It's like I see where they're going with it. It's like Xavier Woods is my friend. You beat up him, so I'm gonna avenge him. But why not let Xavier Woods avenge himself to try to get him over? He's the new guy. You want to show that he's fearless. Now it makes it look like, we're trying to help.
Why is he just there? He just got introduced? Hey, it's my buddy Xavier Woods, and then he fucking lost.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't understand why he's not in this.
Yeah, Bruce killed him. Was it Raw?
Yeah, it's what you don't debut someone like this.
No, it doesn't make sense.
No, and all of a sudden he's in the corner of R-Truth.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is
you gotta have a happy medium. Like I feel like it's either Curtis Axel running through everybody, or it's the dude that can't win a match. There's no like ebb and flow guys. It's either Ryback, or it's dudes like this where it's just like, oh, you did something cool, and then just kill him immediately.
All of a sudden, he's not in the match, nor is he a part of the main story that happens in the match. So R-Truth beats Brodus Clay after the Funky was a 10-side lead. Brodus Clay
because Brodus Clay was being a total d-bag.
Yeah, so they're trying to set up Brodus Clay heel turn because they realize that having him Midcard heels.
Mm-hmm.
They need to have him do that. So not only does
coming for you, Big E.
Not only does he lose tonight, but it hints towards Brodus Clay 10-side. So if we don't sit here and we don't say anything about Xavier Woods, chances are people that aren't fans of him aren't going to ever think it's not going to cross their mind again.
It's not even going to.
And all of a sudden, he's going to continue to be associated with being the filler part of the story.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not positioned to him because you have major arcs, minor arcs that happening the entire time. This minor arc is not the debut of Xavier Woods and him finding his role in WWE, which it could have been, should have been. because the guy is fantastic. And
Yeah.
it's something you don't have. You don't have the black guy that can apply to everybody.
Mm.
But instead,
They used
he's
him as a
R-Truth's buddy.
ploy to give him R-Truth to set up a heel turn to lead to 10 cyber. It's like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, like we talk about them not doing anything with the mid card. It's because when they try to stuff with the mid card, it's like 8 different stories.
Yeah, they don't know. Like, they really don't know what to do.
Yeah, because instead of it being like a protagonist journey,
Yeah.
like, the journey of Xavier Woods to become the IC champion or US
Yeah,
champion.
and it's
something.
like you need to put more thought in mid card stories because you can get away with lackluster stories at the high end, more so because you have dudes that people care about. You have to give these guys something to work with when you're trying to get them over. People aren't just gonna automatically like people because they're like,
hey,
this.
He's black.
Oh, okay, cool. Like, what's his story? Well, what's he do? Oh, he his ass kicked. Like, you have to have a good story behind it to get people behind him, or else like it's not gonna work.
I don't think it's lack of effort either. I think they
Yeah.
overbook it. They don't.
Here comes here, and then they'll like him because he was in the corner of the guy that won, and then these guys left, so they understand that Brodus Clay's rude.
Yeah,
and he's mean as ever. Someone feel for it. It's like no.
It comes down to their unification match being at a minor one of the minor fours.
Exactly.
If it's not, then you can have the last year's TLC match was the main event, right?
I think so. It was the Shield one because it was like Shield against like Cena, someone and someone. Or was it Orton? I don't remember.
No,
Daniel Bryan.
It was the Shield versus Daniel Bryan, Kane, and someone else. Was it Cena?
Maybe it wasn't because the main event was Cena Dolph.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But yeah,
I thought that was it was 2012, not 2011. So 2011 was the Punk one.
Yeah, the triple threat. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was I don't know. That one had a lot of main event guys, so you were able to say how many people are involved. It's awesome.
Yeah,
but
that's
just
what we're saying.
throwing people into a feud isn't going to make people.
Yeah, like this. This in theory should be about Xavier Woods since he's the one that started everything.
Yeah.
It left with no one. He wasn't even like no one's thinking about Xavier Woods right now.
Yeah.
Like, I totally would have forgot about him if it didn't say with Xavier Woods right there. I'd have just been like, okay, well.
So you end up with 4 different camps right now. You have the camp of people that are with Tensai, like, man, I know, I understand when that guy finishes with D-Bag and then leaves, so I'm with him. You have people with Brodus Clay who are like, yo, you got to do what you got to do to become a main event player. People with R-Truth who are like, yo, he's the guy who won. Yeah, and then you have people like us who are like, Xavier Woods.
He was the guy that started all this.
He's the start guy.
He's the reason we're here. So, I don't know.
Did they really bring him up to be for this? If that's what they did, then they shouldn't bring anyone up for a long time.
Yeah, seriously.
Don't bring up Sami Zayn to high five Daniel Bryan and then stand on the sideline while Daniel Bryan fights someone.
Yeah, because maybe when Triple H was saying he wasn't calling guys because they didn't have any character or storyline for him, maybe we should have listened. Because as dumb as it sounded, now we're seeing the effects of when they don't know what they're doing before they call them up. Ugh. Anyways,
they don't know what they're doing Curtis Axel either.
No, not at all.
Different story.
We get to Kofi Kingston versus The Miz in a no DQ match. This started because apparently Miz was talking crap on the pre-show. Kofi called him out. They fought each other. Then they made a match. Kofi gets the win here because Miz was winning all the other ones. I guess I don't know.
Let's talk on the Miz's haircut.
It's a little.
I don't know.
To preface this. Yeah. Maybe Maurice told him to, and in that case, you fucking get that haircut.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know if that's the case. Then Miz
he missed the trend on it though. I feel like the slick back was about 8 months ago,
and it's the slick back where it's so long that when he gets sweaty, it comes up and it like forms like.
Yeah, exactly. When Punk was doing that like 2 years ago, it was tight. People were like, "Oh yeah, I gotta do that."
Yeah, exactly.
And then Timberlake did it, 8 months ago. And it was like, oh, dude, yeah, that's
JT
the move.
rocking the move right now, and all of a sudden it's the Miz, and it's like.
And if you're a bad guy, the cool bad guy doesn't exist.
Yeah.
No one's gonna cheer the bad guy who's cool. Has it ever worked? No.
I don't think.
No.
I don't know. I guess
they cheer for the guy who's delusionally cool. Let Miz think that faux hawks are cool.
Yeah.
Let him be the guy who dresses in ridiculous fashion and thinks he's fashionable.
It's possible.
Not to be the guy who's 8 months behind. Maybe they should be back a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Have me the guy who's behind the trend.
That should be his gimmick.
But either way, he needs to be doing something. This was just
comes out as the Harlem Shake on Raw. Just he's the dude that's caught way 2 months back. Yeah, exactly. Everyone's like,
I want him to crank the Soldier Boy next week.
Hey.
This is good. He should be the guy who can't let stuff go.
That's
when he was the guy who kept complaining that he was the main event of WrestleMania 27.
That makes sense. That made sense.
Yeah, it's like
that's
People are just
what
like,
his thing
dude,
was.
move on. You
It's
aren't
WrestleMania 29 at this point. It's been 2 WrestleManias.
People are mad about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And now it's like
that could be his. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Let him be the guy who's saying he's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, what does he do now? Has a slick back haircut
And he just
wears suits.
Well, what else are you doing? Who knows?
Yeah.
We get to
We gave that a lot more thought
time than it deserves.
Yeah, exactly.
We get to the second handicap match, and at this point, you kind of knew
with how everything was going.
You kind of knew that CM Punk and Daniel Bryan weren't going to win. But you kind of knew they were both going to lose. So if the Shield would have won, you would have thought that Daniel Bryan. Yeah.
Let's look at this real quick. Face. AJ Lee's a face. I don't care what anyone says. She gets cheers. This is a different sort of thing. Biggie Langston's a face. Cody Rhodes is a face.
That would be
R-Truth a fake face.
It's either 6-0 or 5-1, whether you want to count AJ Lee. So at this point, it's like, okay, there's no way we're about to get 2 more face victories.
Especially when this story wasn't ready to fully culminate.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing about why Daniel Bryan lost.
Oh yeah, that's why you can see in the other one. CM Punk being the Shield, that one makes sense. They were, they had already teased the whole, dissension and the thing, and then it was.
And the Shield wasn't invincible, and this was their first loss. It was like they would start, the foundation was starting to crack.
Yeah, compared to the Wyatts, where they're still like a really strong, cohesive unit. They do whatever Bray says. Bray's the leader. Yeah. There's no sign of anything. Yeah, they're unbeatable kind of guys. They haven't 3 huge dudes.
They haven't plateaued yet. And because they haven't plateaued, there's no reason to send them down.
Yeah, and the same thing about even though Punk's fighting 3 dudes, it's 2 dudes about his size or even a little smaller, and 1 big dude compared to little Daniel Bryan facing these 3 giant dudes.
Yeah, exactly.
So from a realism point, it made more sense too.
Yeah. And with how the match went down, with it being like Daniel Bryan would use his intelligence and had his ring knowledge and experience being what was carrying him through all that stuff and knowing where stuff was at. And at the end, what caught up to him was the fact that Bray Wyatt was better.
Yeah, and I liked how they set it up to where it was Harper and Rowan started and Bray Wyatt was sitting on the chair. Some shit as little as that. When all of a sudden he's finally down, Bray Wyatt stands up out of the chair and takes his hat off. The crowd was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, even though, normally, if Bray Wyatt just starts the match, it's not that big of a deal. But it makes Bray Wyatt look like a big deal. Like, I don't even need to be here. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, shit, the dude that doesn't do anything, the leader's stepping in.
It's telling a story.
It's telling a story. It's like, okay, now it's my time. And then he gets in there and he's immediately.
He didn't say a single word. He wasn't like, let's go, Bryan. He stood up.
Yeah. He ended up talking. But when the crowd first, all he did was stand up, take his hat off, toss it aside, start climbing up. And the other 2 were just kind of staring at him like, oh, shit, it's time.
And then whoever's in the ring, Eric Rowan, turns around.
And he's just.
And hightails it over and tags him in.
Yeah, immediately.
And then stands on the side.
And then he gets in, and the crowd's like, oh, this is big.
That right there, that 30 seconds
it's crazy how just
is the Wyatt family.
Yeah, little shit like that.
It's why it's not Bray Wyatt and 2 friends. It's Bray Wyatt and the family.
Yeah, exactly.
Pyramid.
And then you get the point where he's in the ring, and then he starts talking like, Bryan, it doesn't have to be this way. Yeah. I'll give you another chance. We could make this all go away right now. And Daniel Bryan, with his defiance, kicks his hand away, and then it's like, okay. You want to play it like that? And it's like, okay, you want to play hardball? And then they start fighting for a while.
And it was how long can Daniel Bryan withstand it?
Yeah, exactly. Because he'd already got beat up by the other 2 dudes.
Yeah. But they still had to give this belief of like, well, maybe he could win it. And when he went for the LaBelle lock, people were like, oh.
Yeah, you thought it was like maybe, but then he cut it off. And you're like, oh, he almost had it. But he's just too fresh. Yeah. And then Bray Wyatt, and again, Bray Wyatt, it's not like he stayed in the entire time. It didn't become a while. He still was tagging out a little bit to let the other guys come in. Then he came into the creepy shit. Oh my god, it trips me out. And then let's see, Daniel Bryan had, and just like the Punk match, they had the thing where it was you started getting the dudes out, so it's like okay, 1-on-1,
suicide dive,
suicide dive. He does the huge headbutt,
drop toe hold.
Yeah, he did the Bray Wyatt went, he ducks under it, boom, and then drop toe hold. So it was him and Bray. They went out for a while. By the time the other dudes recovered, he was hitting. Yeah, it was. So that the whole breakdown. Then it came down to for the last maybe 2-3 minutes. Then it was CM Punk Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt just themselves.
Yeah.
And he just caught him. Yeah. It's not like
my God. You didn't walk out of this match thinking Daniel Bryan's a worse wrestler.
Yeah, exactly.
You walked out thinking the Wyatt family's legit.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how it should be.
Exactly. Daniel Bryan took the loss right there. He does not get. It's not like he's going to get less cheers because of it.
No people tomorrow will be like, man, you lost to 3 dudes. You fucking suck.
Yeah,
like exactly. That doesn't work that way.
Exactly.
So yeah, I really like this match. as a match itself, and for how they did the psychology of it, and just for where it leads everybody. Because, like Daniel Bryan or not, he gets the loudest cheers. So when you beat the dude that's like, okay, people are cheering for this guy a lot. He must be really, like, if you say you hadn't watched wrestling for a while, you tune into Monday, dude's going ham for this guy. You're like, damn, who's this guy? Why isn't he with these 2 belts? All of a sudden you're like, okay, I'm watching the pay-per-view. Oh my God, these dudes, I know it's 3 dudes, but still, like, they beat this guy. That's a big deal. Yeah. So yeah, and then it's still not like, oh my God, he lost to 3 guys. And he put up a good fight. So the storytelling's there to where it makes sense, and it, puts guys where they need to be.
My favorite story behind the whole Undertaker Shawn Michaels thing was in Shawn Michaels' DVD. He was talking about how they told half the story at WrestleMania 25 when they stood in the middle of the ring, had the stare down. Yeah. So Michaels is looking up like this, and Taker's looking down like this. Yeah, exactly. Right there, you knew.
Yeah, exactly. That tells more of a story than any promo,
Which is why, shout out to Off the Rope Show, they talked about guys being different sizes and being able to tell different stories through it. Yeah. If it's 6'5" or 6'5", it's tougher to say that type of story that people can relate to. You have to find different sorts of mediums. You can always go back to this. Yeah, exactly. Which I think is why Daniel Bryan was able to be into this position this long, surviving through some crap bookings.
Yeah, because it's like he'll always have that story behind him to where it's like,
he's always going to be shorter than everyone he's going against.
Yeah, exactly. It's always going to have that dynamic. Even if you're fighting someone like the same build as him, they're still a little taller, so it looks like, okay. Yeah.
And even then, you can at that point you switch it up a little bit, and it's like, well, who's the better wrestler?
Yeah, exactly. So there's always something to go with.
Yeah.
So yeah, like this match.
It sucks. Dolph's 2 inches too tall, or else Dolph would be.
He would have this story exactly.
Or 2 inches too short. If he needs to be either way on the spectrum.
Yeah, he's too middle right now. He's too middle.
That's why he's not in the card tonight.
Exactly. He's too middle ground. He lost a Fandango on the pre-show. That's what that height gets you. Hey. And then we get to Randall Keith Orton versus John Cena for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, because that's creative. You get it? Because you take the company name, which is the one title, and then you put it in front of the other title, and then it morphs into one title called the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, because that's creative.
I thought we voted on something different.
Oh God! If they would have called it the unified title, I'd have left though. So I will say, as much crap as I'm talking about, I like it better than the unified champ. That just sounds dumb. Undisputed is the best one, but I could see why they kind of didn't want to go there, because they kept like, it's the first Undisputed champion. Chris Jericho was like,
He called this book Undisputed.
Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense why they did it. It's just.
And there's a lot of dispute from a TLC match. It's not who pinned him 1, 2, 3. Undisputed made sense because it was the tournament to decide who was the ultimate champion.
Yeah, that's why it's so fun. That's what we were saying. It's like, you keep calling this the biggest match of all time, but it's a TLC match.
TLCH.
Oh yeah, TLCH. We'll get there. If you're sitting there, okay, so let's say you and me, we're John Cena and Randy Orton, and we're building up. We're like, oh, we're gonna fight. Let's see who's better of the two of us. No, a better idea. Which of us can climb a fucking ladder?
Exactly.
That doesn't make sense. You want to just be boom, boom. That's why, if you were going to do this, I know some people don't agree with doing this, but if you're going to,
Survivor Series,
do it at a Big Four in a singles match. You, boom, who's better? Okay, that makes sense. He's both champions because he pinned the other champ.
Exactly.
I climbed that shit.
Yeah.
Now I was like, and then you fell, and I was like,
got it.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. You can't call something the biggest match of all time when the winner has to climb a ladder and grab.
If they were going to do this, why didn't they do it at Survivor Series? And why didn't they just say, all right, we're going to put people in 5-on-5 matches. If your team wins and you're still in there,
and then,
you're in the super match for the new championship.
It could have just been 2 sole survivors. It was Orton and Cena, and that's the way you get to these 2 if you have to.
Yeah.
Not just like, you're the champ. I'm the champ.
I'm the champ.
But I'm the champ.
But I have this one.
But I have this one.
Actually, I feel like we should have this one. I should have this one.
But I have this one.
But I have this one.
But this one's better.
This one, the champ is here.
But you're John Cena. And it's like, it's
like, hey,
the story was.
Daniel Bryan gets a match first if I win.
Ah, shit, you're losing. That's Triple H's booking. But no, I feel like that literally was the booking. It was like, well, this title's better. But John Cena holds this one, so they're equal. So fuck it. We have to have one. Like, that's literally what it felt like.
You know what? As much as I'm going to crap on this card, before we go into this last match, I'm going to say one thing. How happy am I that Alberto Del Rio was not involved?
Oh, so much.
It made it better.
I'd like to thank this belt for not having an Alberto Del Rio tie to it.
Oh, jeez. I mean,
this belt's gone through some shit, guys.
Hell.
Think of some world title matches we've gotten lately.
Oh, don't say that.
And just, this belt's gone through some shit. Give it its time to shine in a main event.
Yeah. But we'll go into the match now. We're going to TLCH.
TLCH, Battle of the Bahamas.
A match that needs to be done a certain way or else people are just going to laugh at it.
Which we did.
We laughed at it a ton. Do you want to know why? Because 2 minutes in, all of a sudden, John Cena can squat 800 pounds and snatch all this weight. Can't climb a fucking ladder. If there was a ladder behind me, I could climb it in 5 seconds. I could jump off that ladder and use my adrenaline.
Literally, if the ladder was right here and I was by that wall, you could probably climb it before I got over here and pushed it over.
Exactly. And you could be standing there.
Exactly. And especially if I'm starting on the ground, how normally a guy hurt was, and I had to stand up, run over here. You're up there and you grabbed it.
If you're down there for 10 seconds,
my favorite part
I've already won an 8 seconds.
We won't tell you who won yet because maybe you're watching a review for the end. But the man who wins at the end, the thing that killed me, I don't even know if you noticed this, he grabbed the hook and took the whole thing off. The whole match, both dudes are just trying to grab one belt and yank it. Yeah. It's not going to yank. It's hooked. You have to grab the hook. That's why I was laughing. Yeah. Like, once the match was over, I'm like, oh, that's how you get it. Now they look like idiots.
Maybe it took Rick. See, they didn't pull it 3 times either. But they didn't press the R stick down 3 times.
You got to go, hold, pull. Pull. Oh, so the 3rd time is when he got it. Okay. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. But it took the person who won standing up there that close to it, knowing that there was no way he could have lose, to realize that he doesn't unhook both of them.
He's like,
he goes,
light bulb, they're connected. Because they didn't want us to just grab one. Defeats were not unified then. And then it clicked, and okay. So it was like, but yeah, our logic of, I'm going to set this table up sideways against the ring post. I'm not going to use it now, but later. Yeah. I'm going to go through this probably. And then you go out.
You've never set up a table. I mean, most of the time when you set up a table, someone goes through it.
Most of the time, the person that sets it up goes through it.
Yeah.
Think about it.
John was 50-50 this time.
Orton set it up. Orton set the one outside up. He ended up through it.
I thought John put the one up outside.
Oh yeah, because then he was going to powerbomb him through.
So there was 3 tables that were set up during the match.
Corner, outside.
Yeah. John set up 2.
He went through 1.
Randy set up 1 and went through 2. Counting the announce table.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So Randy did go out through 3 because he went through corner, outside, announce table.
You're right.
Cena just went through corner.
But that was
the one that.
All right, screw it. That was the one that did it. Randy Orton is your new champion. Do not close this video yet. We're gonna tell you why. I don't know. We're gonna find a way. We're gonna find a way to make this better second time around. Because let me put it this way. If John Cena wins, they think the internet would freak out. And we're not sure. I wish they would have tested it.
I don't know what would have happened.
I don't know what would happen either. Let's imagine that world real quick.
I don't know what's happening now yet.
Let's imagine that world real quick. Let's imagine we are the internet.
I'd have been pissed.
And we're okay.
Okay, let's just think how us ourselves would review this if Cena won.
Let's say Cena wins Super Cena style. Why?
I'm so sick of this shit.
Why is John Cena winning Super style?
Fuck these belts.
Why is it not anyone but Cena? ABC, anyone but Cena.
Anyone but Cena except for Orton.
He's not putting anyone over. He doesn't put anyone over ever. It's all about Cena. All right, now we'll go back to reality.
Okay.
Cena went through a table and Randy Orton.
Randy Orton won this match clean.
He handcuffed John Cena to the ropes.
Yeah,
John Cena takes apart the ropes, climbs up, and tries to win with the turnbuckle in his hand.
Yet he was hitting him with the puffy part.
Yeah.
So Randy Orton's like, you must be crazy.
Yeah, and then, of course, John Cena, the strongest man in the world, after he knocks him down, can't go.
No.
He had no problem climbing at the start, but apparently hitting him with the turnbuckle was the toughest thing he's ever done.
It was.
Shucks.
Oh, favorite part of the match was outside the ring, Cena has full strength, and we say, okay, he's going to catch him, add adjustment through the table.
No, he's playing possum.
Yeah, he's playing possum. He's going to be fine, get up, add adjustment through the table, but then he's all of a sudden going to be super tired. Runs, possum, misses, AA, he's off screen, he's easily on the ground. Oh, That AA took so much out of me. I don't know what I will do.
That's what happens when boxers don't boxer in the face, right? They complain about how tiring the punch made them.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
When John Bones Jones hits somebody with a nice punch,
He says, "Woo."
he doesn't attack him on the ground. He doesn't take advantage of anything. He goes,
says,
my elbow.
Okay. And then he goes back to the work. No.
I mean, how dumb do they have to think we are?
And the same thing when Orton handcuffs him.
Yeah.
Hold on. Walks clear down the ramp. This one, it's like 4 inches taller than all the other ones.
Even though I reached it just fine from the other ones.
Even though I was playing, and then he goes all the way back in, sets it up, and then Cena's chilling, and then he starts unhooking it, and Orton's just like, okay, and then Cena's the only way to land. And then all of a sudden there's just like, it's just so funny. People get, it's crazy how it works. It seems like Survivor Series elimination matches, people get like hurt a lot quicker.
Yeah.
And here people get tired a lot quicker. It's just crazy how that works.
I think it's the Houston air.
It's something. Humidity's going on. I don't know.
It was the humidity and there was
elevation. I don't know.
No, it's sea level. Sea level gives you more oxygen per thing. But I think what happened was when I was in Houston, I was dehydrated. So I used for the humidity and the temperature. So I think John Cena lost his match because of dehydration, and because of that, you should get a rematch with the Royal Rumble. I'm saying it right here. Trio Bowl Show said it first. John Cena, Randy Orton, for it all at the Royal Rumble.
John Cena wins, gets another title reign, fights the Game at WrestleMania.
Of course.
Seems right to me. I mean, that's just the right thing, because then you can have the rematch at Elimination Chamber where Cena goes over again.
Yeah, over 5 guys.
Leading to Cena taking on the Game. Oh, no. Because Triple H won the Royal Rumble, of course.
Yeah.
We left that part out.
Yeah.
Triple H obviously won the Royal Rumble and will face Johnson. So there you have it.
There you have it. We booked it all for you. You don't have to just watch the rest.
You don't even need to watch it.
Just watch us, actually.
Just watch
Click
us.
the subscribe button, and every Monday around about an hour after the show ends, you get an email to your cellular device.
And it'll say,
you'll open your cellular device.
Walk them through the app.
Walk you through the app. Battery's low. So basically,
make sure you charge your battery first.
You're going to go to your mail.
Check this out.
You're going to see something from YouTube.
What?
No video's been posted recently.
But what does it say?
So you hop on the YouTube one. This is actually for Hulu Hot List.
Ooh.
But it will say, new video from the Tree of Woe show. And you can just click on it and watch it on your cellular device.
That's us.
That's us. You can do that. Just click the subscribe button. That's what I feel like we never actually explain what subscribing is. Subscribing doesn't mean that when we finish the video, it pops up as a virus on your thing. When you hop in on YouTube, you see more of our videos.
And we'll be there.
We'll be on the sidebar, and it will say 1. And you'll say, wow, the Cube Show has a new video.
And we'll be doing this in the thumbnail, maybe.
Yeah. But none of that happens if you don't click this button down here. I want you to do it.
It might be up there, though. Where is it anymore?
I don't know where it is. But we might end up
SCRIBE for the younger kids.
It's red.
It's a button.
And if it already says you're subscribed, don't unsubscribe.
No, don't push that button anymore.
Yeah. But can I take us home on this one?
Mm-hmm. Ooh, and notice we're pretty cool. If you haven't subscribed, you will see the number of subscribers we already have. Why not join that for sure? 2K. Why 2K?
Yeah. Actually, you take us home. Let me do the pre-take home.
Okay, I'll take us home.
The pre-take home.
Shine these belts real quick.
When Triple H was talking to the people at Grantland, which is Bill Simmons and David Shoemaker, the Masked Man, he said he doesn't see WWE as a wrestling company anymore. He sees it as Disney entertainment. That right there is why I still have faith in Daniel Bryan. Think about the 3 acts of any Disney movie. You have the introduction of the major characters and the plot. The second act, the guy's never on top. Ever. No one in the second act of any movie of any sort of thing
Simba's dad died. Little Mermaid is getting turned into a human.
I watched Grind last night. You seen Grind?
No, you were telling me about it.
I told you about
a Disney movie?
No. Grind is actually made by Warner Brothers. And I was telling you about Rad.
That's the one.
Anyway, Grind. Movie that follows the same exact plot line. Starts off where the guys have the dream and they go for it. And it's like, yeah. And then it goes and they're like, oh crap. And then it's like, oh cool, Pam's gonna help us out. Tight. Nope. Because he knows who he is. He doesn't disrespect women. I'll have a review for Grind later, probably not. Don't expect one. Just yeah. But they build. And it takes the characters refinding themselves and refocusing for them to go through and accomplish their goal and become what they thought they could be. So, Daniel Bryan fans out there, I know you guys are probably mad because he lost. Name a Disney movie where the guy was the man, Act 2. High School Musical.
Zac Efron.
Zac Efron.
What's he doing?
Middle of the thing, he lost his friends. He didn't know what he was going to do with basketball.
He had to sing Bet On, which was the greatest song ever.
Yeah.
This is about to be Daniel Bryan's Bet On It.
Yeah, he can't sing Bet On It if people aren't mad at him. Exactly. If people don't...
He has no need to look at the pond and see his reflection.
Exactly. He can't... There's no reason for him to bet on any... He's not...
He has to bet on himself.
He has no one to prove wrong
Exactly.
if he never has to... If he never loses.
Yep.
Here he is. He lost. Yep. Daniel Bryan has lost. He's lost the past couple pay-per-views. He's not exactly the man anymore. Yep. But the thing is, people still care.
Yep.
Do you want to know what?
They'll still chant.
Because
they'll still cheer.
For some reason, he connects to everybody. Mm-hmm. Everybody. So, ladies and gentlemen, do not give up hope on him yet. CM Punk, we don't really know because there was never really. He's kind of flatlined.
Yeah.
His arc.
He was maybe the man for too long, even though he was never the man. He had that belt for.
Yeah, exactly.
The long time run maybe almost hurt him because it's like okay,
because you can't be on top and you can't do all that stuff for that long and stay here without the heel turn, which is where he starts to become bad.
That's why Eminem only comes out with an album every 4 years.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't just keep coming out with bangers.
Remember when he came out with a couple albums in a row and they sucked?
And then he had to go back to the vault and say no.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck this.
Exactly. That was his Act 2.
Exactly.
And Kanye West's Act 2 was Graduation. If you don't believe me, shut up. Think about it. That was he goes, fantastic album and College Dropout. That was my background. College Dropout. Yeah. And then Late Registration was like, you could tell people were starting to influence him too much.
Yeah.
Graduation was Kanye West producing songs for people to be on his album. And then 808 is where he says, oh, I don't care.
I don't know what to do.
I'll have 2 features on hooks and 2 features on verses.
I'm going to have Rihanna in the video and not in the song.
Exactly.
Paranoid.
He'll have Kid Cudi, Mr. Houston, Young Jeezy, and Lil Wayne.
Yep.
The last 2 were on top of the game at that point.
They were.
And you know what came after that? My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. That right there, it was an even better album because you understood it. It didn't just come up. He had to go through the darkness to write My Beautiful Fantasize of this back in Chicago. Mercy, Murcielago.
We just gotta get down right at that point and find out a way to stop him before he starts thinking he's Nelson Mandela.
No, because I like this part. This is what Punk should have done. If Punk would have been Kanye West now,
right now,
he would have been the biggest heel in the company.
That's probably true.
But he still would have had us riding with him, buying his shirts. I'm riding with Kanye still. Leather jogging pants are real. Justin, take us home.
That's there. Blaze, shop, Blaze. Well, guys, much as I made fun of the main event, as you probably know if you've seen our videos, I'm pretty happy. And if you haven't watched our videos, I'm pretty happy. You know why? Because I like Randy Orton. Why? I already made a video about it once. I'm not going to say it again. That video was like 30 minutes long, and it just happened. So,
what was this one, man?
42.
What?
Yeah.
Where did you lose track of time?
I forget. But here we are. We're just living the dream. We'll see you tomorrow. Maybe just Jake because the Heat have some business to take care of against the team in the state we live in. So we'll see how that goes. But we will see you soon. Let us know what you thought. If you were right on predictions, all that fun stuff. Let us know down there. We will see you later. Randall Keith Orton, my friends. Randall Keith Orton. Anybody but Cena. Tables, ladders, chairs, handcuffs.